telling them about the project, I see that their faces light up when they realize that for the first time, an app is going to speak their language and understand their pattern of speech. My name is Gifty Ayoka. I'm the founder of Talking Tips Africa Foundation. I'm also a speech and language therapist. I'm from Ghana, and we work closely with GDI Hub to test what works in terms of digital ATs. For any application to be useful to the people that use it, they should be able to use it in their language that they are most comfortable with. And most of these digital ATs are in English, and that limits the usage amongst the population. And so if we want persons with disabilities to really benefit from these digital ATs, there is the need to do them in a local language so that everyone can benefit. And that also breaks some barriers to communication, because then communication is a two-way thing. And so if someone is speaking in English and you are speaking in the Ghanaian language, you won't understand each other. So if people are more comfortable in their local languages, why not make applications that they can use? Everyone has something to say, and they should be able to say it in the language that they are most comfortable with. We've met people that thought that they could never be able to work with anyone because then their customers can't understand them. And then suddenly they get the Relate app, and then they are like, oh, now I have a tool, or I have a new toy in quotes that can allow me to communicate with people who usually would not understand me. And we've met people that are poets. They have cerebral palsy, and so that limits their movement. And so for a long time they said they had abandoned the dreams of writing poetry. Then suddenly they have the Relate app, and they're able to use the transcribe button to be able to now still write their poems. Because now they have an application that understands their unique type of speech. Relate has been very, very empowering, and what will even be more empowering is when it is now in our local languages. Then we know that it has gotten to the point where it is really inclusive. This type of technology will definitely change lives. We don't have a lot of speech therapists in Africa. In Ghana, we have less than 80 speech therapists serving a population of over 32 million. Exactly. So if we have these kind of digital ATs, I cannot be everywhere, but I definitely can coach someone over the phone or train someone over the phone to use applications like the Relate app, and especially if it is in the local language, then it even becomes more easier for the people that we serve. So the CDLI is really important, especially at this time. And for Africa to come along, it is important that it is done in the African way, including the language that Africans speak, to make it more inclusive. We are going to the people that will be using the application in the local languages, and we are collecting their voices and their speech samples. And this represents who they are, And for me, that is the most empowering thing, going down to the people, getting their voices recorded and telling them about the project. I see that their faces light up when they realize that for the first time, an app is going to speak their language and understand their pattern of speech. Because in the past, persons with speech impairments were not able to access some of these tools. And so for them to now be able to access it, which is one, and now be able to access it in their local language, I see the excitement. I see that they have hope for the future.